1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll.
Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. So it seems like a shooter has been apprehended. The police are alleging in the Compton July 4th shooting, right? And so let's get on over here to a channel that's called Respectable Rants, and he's going to break down the information, and let's check it out without further delay.
Provided updates on several shootings over the 4th of July weekend. 3 separate shootings left 3 people dead in the city of Compton the evening of July 4th. Several others were injured. 19-year-old Mia Jenkins and 37-year-old Eric Washington were killed in separate shootings at the same large gathering that was on the 700 block of West Laurel.
I seen mothers lose sons, seen families break, seen strong men fold under all that weight. That's the reason I don't take a single day for granted. Life can change overnight, I finally understand it.
A suspect, 50-year-old Anthony Jones, had been arrested and charged with the murder of Jenkins and the attempted murder of 2 others. The killer.
Now, let me pause right here and say that we must keep in mind, right, that all this is alleged. All this is alleged. He has not been found guilty of anything. Now, last night, though, I seen that they were giving his name as, I believe, Antoine. I don't know if this report said Anthony, and I think they said he was 50 here. But from what I seen, he was 54. So, once again, all this is alleged, right? But to even think that a 54-year-old man has took the life of a 19-year-old woman is crazy. I think about that, right? Because I'm 54. Under no circumstances would I ever see myself taking the life of a young woman, unless my life was in danger. But like I said, once again, this is all alleged, and this is just a crazy situation.
The killer of Eric Washington remains on the loose.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about the double homicide that happened on July 4th in the Wilmington Arms inside Compton. We're going to break down everything from the details to how one of the shooters were arrested last night. Let's dive right into it. On July 4th of 2026, at around 11:40 at night, the Compton deputies received a call of shots fired coming from an apartment complex. And the apartment complex was located on the 700 block of West Laurel Street. And they received a call of multiple shooters and multiple people being shot. In the 700 block of West Laurel Street would be the Wilmington Arms. And the Wilmington Arms would be the hub of the Park Village Compton Crips. And this would be the hood that Roddy Ricch is from, and you can see the Wilmington Arms in a few different hood vlogs. But when deputies responded on the night of July 4th, they would find 5 separate shooting victims, 3 women and 2 men. And one of them people would be 19-year-old Mia Jenkins, and she was a nursing student at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And they would say that she was shot and killed when gunfire broke out at the party. They would say that the shooter shot her and 2 other women. But sadly for Mia Jenkins, she would pass away on the scene from a gunshot wound to the head. And the other 2 women, they would find them outside of the apartment complex with non-life-threatening wounds. But deputies would learn that there was 2 separate shootings around the same exact time. And they would say that even though it pretty much happened at the same time, that these shootings were separate and not related.
Now that's crazy. So they say it was 2 separate shootings going on at the same time. So it definitely that night it seemed like a whole lot was going on, right? And it's been, I think I've been home 8 years. I think like July the 11th or July the 10th of this year, I've been home 8 years. And since I've been home, I definitely have not done any 4th of July celebrating outside of the neighborhood. You know, we in the area that I live in, we all get together and have a little, you know, all the neighbors, we cook and barbecue and we just do some fireworks here. But it's definitely, you know, definitely crazy. And that's one of the reasons, because things are so crazy nowadays. I guess it's the only thing that, you know, that I can say. And 4th of July and New Year's Eve are definitely nights that I just, you know, hang at the house and just kick back and stay out the way.
But they're alleging that the other victim, who was 37-year-old Eric Washington, was shot first. And they reported that he was shot and killed while trying to de-escalate a conflict at the party. And when deputies found him, he was still alive, but he was suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. And investigators later learned that another man was shot with him at some point during the incident. And like we said, Mia Jenkins and Eric Washington both died from the injuries, but the other 3 victims luckily survived.
After an explosion of deadly violence rocked the community Saturday night, 19-year-old nursing student Mia Jenkins and Eric Washington, a housing authority manager for the city of LA, were both killed at a 4th of July party. No one has been arrested.
But 2 weeks after the murder of Eric Washington and Mia Jenkins, police would make their first arrest. And they would arrest one of the people involved in the murder of Mia Jenkins. And he's 54-year-old Antoine Jones. And he was arrested on July 14th of 2026. And this right here would be 54-year-old Antoine Jones. And he would be from Park Village, Compton Crip. And he would go by Pinto. But they would charge him with 1 count of murder with an enhancement on it. And the enhancement would be a personal and intentional discharge of a firearm, causing great bodily injury. And count 2 would be attempted murder, and that would have 2 enhancements on it. One of the same enhancements, and the second enhancement would be causing great bodily injury. Count 3 would be another attempted murder with the same 2 enhancements. And count 4 would be felon in possession of a firearm. And he's sitting in the county jail right now, where he's being held on a $5 million bail. In a crazy.
That's crazy, right? So the individual that they're alleging is an individual who is from that area, as far as the allegations that's being made by the police. Once again, they say the man was a 54-year-old man and he was from that area. And some of the previous reports that I seen related to this, I believe they also said that he is a suspect in some type of shooting in Anaheim. I believe he may have been picked up and charges may have been dismissed. So it's just a crazy situation. And of course, you know, we have to once again see how all this plays out.
Crazy twist to this story is that Antoine Jones was just arrested on June 23rd of 2026, where he was arrested in Anaheim for 1 count of attempted murder. But just a couple of days after being arrested, luckily for him, he would get a DA reject for this. And don't forget that his 4th count on this case would be felon in possession of a firearm. And that's because on May 16th of 2023, Antoine Jones, aka Pinto from Park Village, was arrested for 3 counts of assaulting a person with a firearm. And they would also charge him with 1 count of evading police, 3 counts of willful cruelty to a child, and 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm. He sat in the county jail for exactly 3 months, but on August 17th of 2023, he would take a plea deal, where he pled no contest on evading police, and he had every single count dismissed. And on that day of August 17th of 2023, they would sentence him to 2 years in state prison with halftime. And as you can see, he had 188 days of total credit. In a year before that case, he was arrested on January 6th of 2022. And on this case, they charged him with 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon that's not a firearm. And count 2 is battery with serious bodily injury. And he spent the whole 2022 in jail because, like we said, he was arrested on January 6th of 2022. And he sat in the county with no bail until June 22nd of 2022, where he took a plea deal. And he pled no contest to battery with serious bodily injury, and he would have the other count dismissed. And on that same day of June 22nd of 2022, they gave him 2 years in state prison. But that would also be with halftime. And as you can see, he had a total of 336 days of total credit, meaning he only had to do about another 7 months for this case, and he was released in January of 2023. So Antoine Jones, aka Pinto, was only free for about 4 months before catching that other case in 2023 that we spoke about. And as of right now, Antoine Jones, aka Pinto, would be the only one arrested, but there would be a few more arrests coming. And majority of the people would be from Park Village. Because like we said, they reported that the shooting between Mia Jenkins and Eric Washington were separate and unrelated. And so far, only one of the shooters in Mia Jenkins' case was arrested. But the Wilmington Arms would have a bunch of surveillance video, and detectives would also have camera footage from people's phone of them recording the incidents. And this would be...
So according to what he's saying, it seems like they have a lot of footage from camera phones and from, I guess, surveillance cameras in the Wilmington Arms, right? It also seems like this individual who they have alleged was the shooter in at least one of these homicides has been pretty active in his older years, in his late 40s, early 50s, according to this investigation into this situation is legitimate, because once again, I'm reacting to a channel called Respectable Rants. And so if he's researched and this information that he has researched is in fact accurate, and this is the right individual, then this individual that he's naming Pinto has been, involved in a lot of stuff in an age where you won't find a lot of individuals out there in the streets like that,
Be one that was circulating online. And as you can see, somebody wearing a denim tears hoodie, black jeans, and black and red Jordan 13s would be walking in holding an assault rifle. And right as he reaches the crowd, you would hear gunshots going off. But so far for the murder of Eric Washington, they would say his shooter's still at large. But like we said, Mia Jenkins was studying to become a nurse, and she was a student at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And she happened to be home in Compton for the summer. But as for Eric Washington, he was a mentor and a community leader. He also worked alongside the Watts Gang Task Force, Watts Rising Collaborative, and more. He was also a college graduate and a peacemaker. But like we said, there would be more arrests coming in connection with these cases.
You received a phone call this morning from a very, very close friend of mine who lives out there. And I know the whole story, and he told me exactly what happened. He also shared with me other information about who did it. But he did not want his name mentioned, but I will take it directly to the detectives with the name and the photo of who you are telling me who killed Eric Washington. And I did that. I did my part, because unfortunately, we have this culture in our community about we don't want to cooperate with law enforcement. I have no problem doing that. It's the same culture that we allowed to exist is why our people keep getting murdered, because we don't want to talk. We don't want to discuss and share what we know when someone kills someone in our neighborhood, in our community.
But that right there is going to wrap it up for this video, and I'll keep you guys updated when the other arrests come. But comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. It's Respectable Rants.
Without a doubt, this is a very unfortunate, sad incident. You have a young lady who was 19 years old, going to college, UNLV, was back for the summer visiting, as well as another individual who lost his life. They say that he was a very, very well-respected, well-loved individual in the community. And he was doing a lot to try to bring about a change in his community. So I can't end this video without going back to the video that was made by the YouTuber from up north who disrespected the whole Compton community, right? Obviously that was wrong, and obviously he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? You have individuals here, right? You just heard the guy, the community activist, I believe that was Najee Ali, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, sorry about that, saying that somebody had gave him the information about who done the shooting, supplied him with pictures, they told him everything, and he was going to take that information to the police, right? I say that to say, you obviously have people from that community who disagree with what's going on. So once again, for that dude to come out and paint Compton with a broad brush to a city he's probably never even been to, it was just bad, especially at a time like this when this situation is fresh, right? For him to go out and make those type of statements is just horrible, because once again, you have many people. I believe you have more people who disagree with what happened than you do. Of course, you have gang members, but that's just a small gang banging, Crips, Blood, so on and so forth is a subculture. It's a subculture, which means it's beneath the regular culture. That's a distinct group of individuals who believe in whatever they believe in. But the entire community, the entire city of Compton, obviously does not feel like that from the outpouring of people that's out there voicing their displeasure, people that's out there at memorials remembering the people that happens. And so it's just a sad situation all the way around. And I just think that, once again, to try to paint a community with one brush is extremely wrong, man. But anyway, rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives. Mia Jenkins, the other man, Eric, even those who were shot and survived. This is a traumatizing incident for everybody, man. So anyway, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to Life. Resume normal program.